Well, you guys, it's been a long time since I made a video, just a video, not just me goofing around with the chickens or I don't know what I used to do. Every time I think I kind of figure out how I like to make videos, I just change the way I do stuff. But I wanted to tell a story today, and it's not a military story. I do have a couple of those lined up. I really just got to make time to make videos. But Cold Springs King is working a different shift. I have a little more time by myself now, so I guess you guys are stuck with me. Okay, so today, I just want to talk about today, my day today. I know it sounds silly, but I'm just going to download all this. It was a little bit crazy. So I started off my day helping a family witness a cremation. That's a thing. Yeah, not even kidding. She needed to make sure that that was her husband that was cremated, and we offer the service. So we did that. That was a first for me. Day goes on normal. Then toward the afternoon, here's the bulk of the story. I I helped the family set up kind of like a visitation. It's a viewing. It's not a full funeral service because it's just one last time to see your loved one before they're cremated. Nothing fancy. In fact, the body was still in the hospital gown, and they did kind of prepare this person's face so that tried to make them look like they're sleeping. Let me tell you something. Once somebody passes away, they never look alive again, no matter how much makeup you put on them. Okay, so here's the strange part. There's the dynamic of a family. In our state, the primary next of kin is the person who is in charge of making all the decisions. Everything has to be authorized by them, unless they sign it away to someone else, okay? It starts with a spouse. Doesn't matter if you're separated. If you marry somebody and you die, that person is in charge of your funeral. Just plain and simple. And after them, if that person is divorced or widowed or not married, then any adult age children, right? Then after that, it's parents, then siblings, and then it goes into whatever else is left, okay? This individual had 5 children, okay? 5 adult age children. 4 of them this person had with the first marriage, 4 sons, okay? I can at least share that. 4 sons from the first marriage, divorced their mother, married another woman, and had one more child with her. Now, these 4 didn't have anything to do with him or her, with him for the last 12 years. So the decedent made a will that put the youngest in charge, the child from the latest wife. Now, bear in mind that mom from these 4 was still around. Okay, now we go into everybody wants to have closure. We're going to plan a viewing, and these 5 were kind of in charge, right? But the youngest child set it up because this youngest child knew that the decedent's brothers and sisters, there was 4 of them, and the other siblings, the decedent's children all needed to say goodbye for their closure. And the youngest child even included the ex-wife, wife number 1. Okay, so we show up. I have this place set up for the minimum people, which is about 10 people, to go in and say their goodbyes. The decedent is prepared. Then the ex-wife shows up. Yes, it was just as cringy as it sounds. And it wasn't bad because for the situation, everybody was on their best behavior. But then you have ex-wife sneaking her way over to me, and knowing that I'm the funeral arranger, starts talking to me about I want to be, I'm going to buy a little keepsake urn this big, and I would like some ashes after the cremation. I would like some set aside for me. And my response is, I'm sorry, but you have to ask the children because it's their authorization. I'm sure your children, your 4 children, would be happy to help you with it. But you got to clear it with all of them, right? And I could tell I'm not stupid when it comes to parent manipulation. Trust me. Not that I would ever do it, but my mother was very good at it. And when she came around to me and started introducing herself, just a moment, just she came up, and I already knew who she was. She was the ex-wife. And she opens her line up with, "Hi, I was with him for over 40 years. And granted, I understand that we're divorced, but most of his life he was with me." Makes no difference to me, lady. I just, you know, I know that when people come out the gates with this whole, like, I'm establishing myself as somebody, then I realize that's the first clue that they are nobody. It's really strange because youngest child, when the youngest child was talking to me about the ashes, youngest child had in mind the presence of mind to ask me, "Can you please split them up? I would like to make sure there is some for everybody." And, you know, and I would like to make sure others are taken care of, others' needs, others, right? Stepmom, or I'm sorry, ex-wife that came around and was talking to me here, all she could think about was, I want the ashes for me. I have my keepsake. I want them. And I have a right to them. And me. And I was just done with it. And I told her, I said, you need to go talk to the children. You have to ask them. I am not going to sit there and have different lines of communication out to different people who are trying to circumvent the children because they have their own agenda. I didn't say that. You can't say that to a grieving family, even if it's an ex-wife. But I did make it clear. Here's the funny thing. When I'm at work, I have to be very diplomatic because you can't just look at somebody like, are you out of your daggum mind? Even though I'm thinking it sometimes, but I had to explain to her that she needs to go through authorized children. Got it? So she wasn't very happy with me. I don't know. I thought it was pretty nice, but she just kind of shook her head and side looked at me. And I'm like, all right, lady, you know, enjoy the viewing. But that went okay. There was a moment where everybody in the family was like, let's all take a picture together. We haven't seen each other in so long. And I was all for that. I was like, I'll take the picture. Hand me your phones. Here I had 6 cell phones. Ironically, I'm getting rid of my cell phone. And then I end up with 6 cell phones in my hands. So anyways, to wrap up the story, we take a family photo. It was beautiful. Everybody loved each other. They just arms around, you know, smile. And I took the picture and everybody was starting to roll out like, thank you, it was beautiful, thank you. And I don't know what to say when people do that. Sometimes I say, I hope it was okay for you. I hope it helped. I hope it was what you hoped for. You know, what do you say? You know, hope you had a great time. No, I can't do that. But they rolled out. And here's the funny part. We just hired a new guy who is our new embalmer. Embalmers are those people who work with the dead bodies and embalm them or prepare them for these viewings. So, new guy comes out, not exaggerating, dude looked like Bubbles straight out of Trailer Park Boys. If y'all don't know who he is, hang on a second. Everybody, meet Bubbles. Okay, if you're not a big Trailer Park Boys fan, I get it. It was a pretty cringy show, but it had its good moments. Bubbles for me made the show, and those bottom glasses, you got it. That's what my embalmer was wearing. Nice guy though, nice guy, not weird creepy like Bubbles, but nice guy. And so he comes out to roll the body back into the back and ask me how everything went. I told him it was almost like Thanksgiving when nobody wanted to be there. And he understood. He said, what, did an ex-girlfriend show up? And I said, close, the ex-wife. And he just laughed. But it was a kind of one of those kind of viewings that, now, let me stop. Shannon, get your words out. Use your words. No viewing is ever awesome. No viewing is ever like, oh my God, it was great. We had a wonderful time. Of course not. You're there to see somebody that you've lost. So, but not all viewings. Usually viewings are very heartfelt. You have a good connection with the family, the people together. They, it's nice and it's wholesome, and everyone that I've done had been that way. This is the first one where it was just like, okay, glad you're all here, including her, and you guys need to some time alone with the loved one and blah, blah, blah. And then just having her, here's another thing that was kind of different, okay? Maybe it's just me, maybe I was just extra sensitive because I already had that standoffish kind of feel. This is the ex-wife. But every time she wanted to talk to me, there's personal space, and then there was, I have a question. I bought my own urn, and I'd like to ask you privately if I could have you fill the ashes for my own urn. And I just wanted to make sure that I could have your permission to get that. It's just like, lady, I can smell what you had for lunch. No, she did. I don't mean to seem rude, but it was a little too close. And but maybe maybe if it wasn't her, and maybe if it was one of the other kids, I wouldn't have cared so much. That's my own bias. But either way, I couldn't have been more happy to clock out and go home today. I was ready. Unfortunately, I was ready to come home and see the Cold Springs King and have a great night together. Usually Friday nights is Mario Kart night, but with his new shift, he's working swing shift now, so it's just me. It's just me. The cat is not even here. The dog usually lays right over here on my recliner, and the cat lays over there by the window. Nobody even wants to sit with me today. So it's you and me, guys. All right. Maybe I'll go ahead and make another video with that military story I promised. And I do have some scripture videos. I know some people aren't as crazy about that. Believe it or not, I actually got emails talking about just stick to chickens. Sorry, have you met me? I do what I want. All right, guys. So thanks for listening to, I don't know what this is, a funeral story? But it does have some points to it that maybe you guys could give me advice on next time, because that was, as soon as, the atmosphere, how it changes when that one person walks in, that's what it was like. So anyways, thank you guys for listening to my fun story about the funeral business, and I'll come up with more stuff. So loving you guys. I do miss making videos. I'll make more, I promise. I hope you guys are loving each other. As always, stay salty. That's for you, Faith.